I mean, Logan's kind of wrong. He made the claim that he never tried to kill anyone on purpose, right? Maybe he deserves a second chance. We told him that his power killed somebody, and then he used it on both of us, all three of us immediately. Like, after we explained to him that it can kill people. It's pretty cut and dry. If only I could remember how I put the power in him, maybe I could pull it out again.
That is an interesting idea. You do not possess the knowledge, but Calliope does.
What?
The power comes from you, yes? It is a part of you, much as the power of a djinn is a part of me.
Don't get what you're saying.
It is spiritual, not physical. You could retrieve your power if you focused hard enough.
You think if I wanted that, I wouldn't have done it already? Thanks, no, I'm happy the way I am.
As am I. You can't give me such a gift and then take it away.
Yep, that was super foreshadowed. Just by her being happy at all, I'm like, oh no, the law of narrative means that one of the options is going to be to turn her back, which she doesn't want. Can't you teach him how to use the power properly, Callie?
No, I can't.
You are not lying, are you?
Nope.
I'm not so old that I can't be taught.
I'm not being cute. I really can't. Creative energy runs on instinct, emotion, feelings. Can't teach that.
You must have learned somehow, didn't you?
I was given the power at a young age. I grew up with it. You didn't. So, I'm sorry, it can't be done.
Stan, what do you have to say?
Until today, I didn't even know I had this power, let alone that I was killing people. Perhaps forcing it on you three was wrong. I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing.
And how many are going to die before you figure it out?
I will try not to let that happen. Let me live and I'll try. That I promise you.
Stan? Earlier you said dying to create art was a triumph. Do you still feel that way?
The truth, Stan Bates, and no lies.
I meant what I said. I will try not to let that happen again.
Montana is not saying he's lying. Is this going to be the one time I don't do anything? I don't want to explicitly murder someone. In fact, I believe if I go back, I think I've never murdered anyone. I'm trying to remember every single case. I mean, in some of them, some of the cases don't have a villain. Well, I'm the villain, but there's no secondary villain. Like, arguably Chinatown, there wasn't really a bad person involved. Just a misunderstanding and a trap caused by past me. Then you have stuff like the mind control person. I didn't go with lethal option, but then they killed themselves. I think back to all the various mutant and heroes and X-Men style narratives and stuff like that, like all these different cases where somebody has a dangerous power and they do accidentally kill someone, but arguably they still do maybe deserve a second chance because like horrible accidents can happen before you have the chance to deal with it, and it's super unfair to the person who died that happened, but it's also not necessarily fair to the person who did the killing in the first place because they didn't understand what they were doing necessarily. But he's also clearly unstable in that he admits that he sees someone dying for their art as a triumph. But he also claims that he'll try not to do it again, which is genuine, but he may not be able to control it according to Callie. Although I don't know how much Callie's I don't really know how much Callie is a authority in the concept of people gaining this power and whether or not they can control it, because this is supposed to be an example of a thing that's like never happened before, or we don't have expressed. It's not expressed that it's happened before. Yeah, I don't know if this group has it in them to murder them or force Callie, who hasn't done anything wrong, to go back to being unhappy. Basically killing this person she's become, that she wants to be. Yeah, these are not... They're good about this most of the time, at least. A lot of these decisions are really on the very edge of morality, where you can go in so many different directions and you don't feel comfortable with like any of the ones you can pick. I felt that about a lot of them. Not the dragon one. That kid can fuck off. The kid, like, I get it, the whole like wanting to keep the restaurant in the family, but you're like threatening to murder a creature because you want more money for reasons, and the creature's also didn't directly screw you over. Like, the creature's not the bad guy there. But yeah, a lot of these scenarios are really gray. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna kill him, and we might regret that. I don't know. Stan, we're going to trust you. Don't let us down.
Trust is one thing. Blind faith is another. You are a danger, Stan Bates. This much is certain. My friend chooses to trust you. Abuse that trust, and it will end badly for you.
There's an AA chapter that meets 5 blocks from here. The All Saints Church. You know it?
I do, but how will that help? I don't even drink.
Doesn't matter. It's about regaining some control over yourself. Please, just think about it.
You're just going to stand back and leave him like this? You know what? I don't even care. I'm a mundane human now. This is none of my business. Good luck, Stan Bates. You're gonna need it.
Interesting. Interesting suggestion by Logan. Likening the, of course, it's what he's always thinking about, but he likens this again to being an alcoholic, and it kind of is. He's a danger to himself and the people around him because of a thing he likes to do, and he has to resist, or he could cause harm. A lot of these narratives work on a lot of levels. This is a really... The fact that this is put together like this, and it has like a replaceable party members where the story can play out differently, at least maybe not differently in its end result, but differently in its subtext and its permutations and the form and themes that you get based on which characters interact with the story. This is just a really impressive point-and-click adventure game. Like, they've made progress as a company, as far as I can tell. Like, Shardlight was neat, but it didn't deal with anything like this. It was just a pulpy post-apocalyptic adventure where you solved some puzzles and some shit went down, and then a bunch of people with different ideologies ranted at you about why they were right, and you got to pick who was the rightest, basically. But this is just good storytelling. All right, now the big question is, what the hell happens next? I assume Mel Chris is not gone. I'm sorry, Keith.
I don't know, level 40? Maybe 50?
I beg your pardon?
KK's wondering what level you'd be if you were in Trollgate.
I see.
I just won't even quantify that. So, like, are we gonna get another set of missions, or another, or is it climax time, or is it finale time? I mean, if we go by the BioWare formula, this is the end, probably, which has actually been a reliable way of predicting how this game plays out, mostly. When I say the BioWare formula, I particularly mean KOTOR and Mass Effect, mainly like the first one and stuff, just the specific era where they would do a thing where they're like, here's 3 places to do in non-linear fashion, then like a midpoint, and then like 3 more things to do in a different fashion, or there might just be 3 total or something. But then right before you do right when you've done all of them but one, there's a big climactic plot revelation, new mission that shows up out of nowhere, and you do that one. Then you do the final mission, which was already the final of the missions you already knew about beforehand, but was cut off by the surprise reveal. And then you do a finale? we're at that part now, structure-wise. By the way, like, I didn't know a Wadjet Eye point-and-click game crossed with the BioWare mission structure and plot structure and everything was what I wanted, but it seems to be what I wanted. Obviously, it's not like everything BioWare did is completely unique to them and stuff, but it's a real specific, like, BioWare's style of RPG, going from KOTOR to Mass Effect specifically, is what got me into RPGs as a playable thing. Like, RPGs where there's story and decisions and stuff, as opposed to, like, grinding games and crap like that. Because I played some Final Fantasy, and I played some Diablo and stuff like that, but specifically Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 and Mass Effect is where I got really into RPGs, and Mass Effect 1 in particular is still like my favorite game ever. So it's been a trip to see a point and click game really lean into that, like the entire structure, the party, like having, like, here's your starting character, one male and one female starting character. Then you get somewhat more colorful other characters you add over the course of the missions, because you go on the mission and then you meet on that mission a new person that becomes a party member. Then you can use their skills, and then you go on different missions. You can recombine who you take with you on a particular mission, and then as you build trust with these people, they open up to you about their backstory, which primarily happens via a hub location that you always go back to after every mission to talk to everybody. You know, like the ship from KOTOR or the Normandy. I have. Oh, the Ebon Hawk. Okay, I remembered it. I was feeling bad for forgetting the name of the KOTOR ship. It's really comparable, like really note for note comparable. Like it's a love letter to that era of that specific company. Because they didn't invent every individual element of that, but it's kind of like the Dark Souls thing, where like when you talk about a game being Souls-like, almost nothing Dark Souls has ever done has been entirely unique to Dark Souls, but the overall combined aesthetic of all of those mechanics come together to form a particular style. And this is the most BioWare point-and-click game I've ever played, and it's a real trip to realize that, especially once the plot twist starts happening with Melcarissa, and you're like, oh shit, it's that part of the BioWare structure. We're doing that now. It's been a trip. Logan and KK watch Mondana train. At least you assume KK is watching Mondana.
So many great bars in Brooklyn, and we didn't walk past a single one. I call that a blessing. Anyway, what's up?
I remember being Keith so clearly. It's very strange.
Listen, I can't begin to relate, but I do know what it's like to have feelings you want to drown away. So my advice, focus on the job ahead. That's enough to get you through today. And worry about tomorrow. And I'm here if you ever want to talk. Right. And KK too. Sorry.
Any thoughts on the last mission?
I think we made a good call with Stan, although maybe not the right one. I know what addiction's like. Sometimes you're not even aware of the damage you're doing until it's too late. If Stan Bates gets the help he needs, then maybe he'll be okay. Maybe. Either way, what's done is done. If it turns out we made the wrong call, we'll try and make it right.
See you around.
Sure. We'll chat later.
Oh god, they even did the thing where a male and female trusted character come along, and the male character is a little more hot-tempered and a little more casual, and the female character is more proper and more experienced and has more of a history. And it turns out that your identity of who you thought you were the entire game was, oh my god, they did that part too. She ferociously attacks the practice dummy with her sword. There's not a drop of sweat on her. Did she dodge my mouse? I think she did.
Hello. I was just processing the events of last night. I have no memory of what transpired in the creative force. Perhaps it is better that way. Regardless, it was good to see Calliope again. I will always have a fondness for her, wherever fate takes her next.
My memories of being Keith have got me all mixed up.
Yes, I can see how that might be confusing. Some unsolicited advice from one half-spirit to another. There is no right answer. Your only option is to just let yourself be yourself. You are you. No more, no less.
Any thoughts on the last mission?
For what it is worth, Stan Bates spoke the truth. He does not intend to cause any more harm. But convictions mean little without the action to back them up. Thus far, Stan Bates has been lacking in that regard. I can only hope he proves otherwise.
I'll leave you to it.
Thank you.
Eli stares into the flickering fireball.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I was a bit distracted. Mondana told me about your encounter with Calliope, so I've been reading some old scrolls about muses. Most of the scrolls in the Library of Alexandria were Greek, so you can imagine there's a lot on the subject.
I have so many memories of being Keith, it's very confusing.
I can't imagine what that must be like. I'm sorry, but I do know that demons don't act like you do. They're chaotic, mindless. Were you a demon before? Sure, maybe. But you're not a demon now, and that's what matters. That's all that matters.
Any thoughts on our last mission?
I'm glad we didn't kill Stan. Really, really glad. But leaving him with his power? I just hope he figures it out before someone else dies.
I'll leave you to it.
Right. See you around.
So muses exist, and they can kill people.
I have so many memories of being Keith, it's got me all mixed up.
Look, I get it. Things are crazy and you don't know which end is up. You want to have a meltdown and drink yourself stupid. And when this is done, feel free to do that. I'll even join you. Hell, I'll buy the first round. But right now, we need you focused. I need you focused. Okay? Okay.
Any thoughts on the last mission?
It's a toughie, right? Is Stan guilty of keeping a lethal weapon if the weapon is literally a part of him? I suppose letting him go felt right, but was it actually right? Whatever. We made a call. Whatever happens, happens.
We'll chat later.
Right. Catch you later.
I'm eager to see what happens next here.
Hello. I was just processing the events of last night. I have no memory of what transpired in the creative force. Perhaps it is better that way. Regardless, it was good to see Calliope again. I will always have a fondness for her, wherever fate takes her next.
I'll admit the party of characters has ultimately turned out to be significantly smaller than I thought it would turn out to be, at being 4 besides the protagonist. Should we start a meeting?
A meeting is not necessary. We know our mission. We know our destination. When you are ready to proceed to the subway, we will follow. Thank you.
All right. Do I just click on the door? I've never done that. Oh, wait, no, we do that after the meeting usually. Do I really have to pick my characters for this part? Weird. Is it time for OG crew? Really, everyone should be along for the ride. I feel like leaving anyone out is weird.
Not for nothing, but I think you're gonna need some backup on this one.
Yeah, I agree. And so does KK.
Well, here's our stop. Let's get moving.
Ah, you guys did a fake out. How's the portal look?
We were successful. The portal is unlocked. We can go open it whenever we wish.
So, what's on the other side of that thing?
It is impossible to say. It could be anything. It could be nothing.
Pocket realms can completely ignore the laws of nature or invent new ones entirely.
So, be prepared for anything.
You ready for this, Vicky?
Okay, real truth? No, I'm not ready. I'm about to step through a portal into another world. I could never be ready for that. But I'm a Santina. I finish what I start. So let's finish this.
I don't know, you do it a few more times, I feel like you get ready eventually. Logan, any thoughts before we go?
Yeah. I was thinking, not a single person in the program would judge me if I picked up a drink right now. But that's not true, is it? That's just the addiction. Making excuses and twisting the truth. So all I can do is focus on what's in front of me, which means going through that glowing hole and stopping whatever's on the other side. That's enough for now. It'll have to be.
God damn, you really can't escape thinking about that all the time. Any words before we head out, Eli?
Oh, I always have words. I was just thinking, wasn't that long ago I was throwing lightning at you on a rooftop? A lot has changed since then. You've made some tough decisions. Decisions I'm not sure I'd have been able to make. I guess all I have to say is, whatever happens in there, I've got your back, and I know you've got mine.
You have any sage advice for us, Mundana?
I have lived a long time, but I would hardly call myself a sage. If anything, I know how easy it is to reinvent yourself, rediscover who you are over and over. You have done much the same in your time with us. My only hope is that you do not change further. Regardless, know that I am with you for as long as I can still stand.
KK, how are you feeling about all this?
She says she's getting bored with all this talking. Sorry, KK. We'll get going in a minute.
Yes, it is time. Eli, shall we open it together?
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Did something go wrong?
I think so. Yeah, we definitely went through. I felt it.
So did I. Something is different.
So the other side of the portal, at least this room, looks the same. We head upstairs. Hi.
Holy shit. We're not in New York anymore, are we?
No, we made it into the Pocket Realm. It is a twisted version of our city.
That building. Look at the energy pouring out of it.
That must be where our quarry lies.
Are you all right?
Denizens of darkness, come. Come on, use Melcares's knowledge, it's right there. Why isn't this voiced by him, by the way, like it was before? I guess they only did that for the twist. Focus on darkness?
Up! Wake the hell up!
Okay, he's back. Everyone relax.
You blacked out for a minute. You started chanting. What happened?
Oh, was it not voiced because it was actually happening now? Keith was trying to cast a spell. I can cast it now too.
A spell? What kind of spell?
Maybe I should cast it and find out.
It sounded like a spell of summoning.
Whatever it is, maybe turn the other way the next time you cast it.
Sudden spell of summoning. Okay. Save real quick. I want to make note of something real quick. Oop. No, it closed the game. Don't close the game, stupid. I didn't want you to close the game. I wanted to go back to the title sequence. Dang it. Oh well. I just wanted to make note that this whole game, they've been hyping up what was going to happen when we got to this. There we go. I think these two might have not been here until I unlocked them, or maybe they were there the whole time. I'm not sure. I don't remember if the whole cast was here at first. I just find it noteworthy that there's like this really concerning scene here that looks like New York's been overtaken by demons or something and bad things are happening. But that might be this might be the pocket dimension. This might be what we just found. So I was waiting for this big moment where the dimension's totally, where New York's screwed, but maybe it's just the pocket dimension. Or maybe I'm wrong, because this doesn't look very weird and disoriented and warped. This looks like New York. As in not what we just saw. So maybe we are still setting up this idea that that's going to happen anyway. I don't know. Yeah, this is all otherworldly, whereas that other place looks more like normal New York. I'm not sure what to expect here. So somehow adding magic to New York, powering up the magic in this pocket dimension. Got roots overgrowing the sewers, everything's floating around and warped, there's a glowing building. Things are crazy. Madonna's eyes are focused on the path ahead.
The only way forward is that bridge. It does not look very stable.
Eli's fingers twitch. He seems to be holding himself back from torching everything in sight.
Gravity, air, friction, the laws of physics seem intact for now.
Vicky's hand stays close to her firearm.
Right. I haven't totally freaked yet. Let's get a move on before I lose my nerve.
Logan seems less distracted than normal. KK's voice is apparently silent.
We're with you. Let's keep moving.
Oh boy, the street leads to a rickety-looking bridge. I'm sure it'll be fun. Whoa, I took off into that background.
Jesus, listen to that creaking.
That's a floating car.
This thing is being held up by spit and staples.
And maybe a prayer or two.
This bridge was created out of sheer force of will. It is only as stable as the one who created it.
Yeah, that's not exactly encouraging.
I mean, they seem like strong staples. Look at that car. It's like stabbed through by a weird staple thing, and it's perfectly motionless in the air. A large gap remains where the bridge collapsed. That's a ways away. This arch leads off the bridge, and you hope to stability. Look at that sign. A metal girder hangs suspended by a thin cable. Huh. Can you shoot that? Yes.
Not sure what good that did.
Wow. Nailed it immediately. Can we bring it towards us? Eli just shoots fire. It's not really... Yeah, I don't know what I was going to do with that. Should I try to summon it? Fire, water, nature, art, ice, darkness. So those are the elements of the 6 missions that we went on. Focus on art?
Is that? Yes, it is you. I hear you across the void. What is it you need?
What? Wow. So I can summon the characters we've dealt with? If they're alive, I guess? Hello, Stan. It's been a while.
Doesn't seem at all that long to me. Time moves differently for me now.
I mean, it hasn't been a while. I think it's been since yesterday. We could use your help. Could I summon you here just temporarily?
Of course. I owe you my life, and possibly my soul. What is it you need?
Are things okay?
I'm honestly not sure. It's hard to look at things now. I'm flooded with so much information. Still, it is part of being a muse, is it not? I'll get used to it.
Can you help us cross this bridge?
That bridge was created by someone very angry and someone very scared. But that is not what you're asking, is it? I'm sorry. I'm not sure what I can do to help you.
So he can only help with emotions, really. Goodbye. Sorry to bother you.
No bother at all. It's good to speak to someone who understands.
I have a connection to people. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting.